is the 6 facts, multiplication and division. Students will need to have mastered their 5s before moving on to their 6s. We'll be using graph paper and markers for students to decompose 6 into a 5 and 1. Let's have a look. Today what we're going to do is we are going to work on multiplication facts for 6s. We're going to use a strategy for what we know, 5s and 1s, to get to what we don't know, some of our 6s. Okay? Sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start with my cards here have a little think bubble at the top. Everybody see the little think bubble?
Mm-hmm.
Has this little think bubble, and it's thinking. What is the think bubble thinking?
5 plus 1.
5 plus 1. It's saying, hey, instead of thinking of the 6, think of it as a 5 plus 1, right? So if I'm getting stuck, I can think of 6 as 5 plus 1 and see if I can use that knowledge to get to what I don't know. This is also a little rectangle, right? And it's a 6 by 4 rectangle, right? So this is also going to be a little memory trigger for us to remind ourselves our strategy to use when we're trying to come up with the 6s that we don't know automatically. And on your graph paper, if you could please draw a 6 by 4 rectangle. 6 by 4. Count carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can think of 6 as a 5 and a 1. Everybody agree?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I know 5 and I know my 5s and I know my 1. So I'm going to draw a little line, and that little line shows me that I have a 4 by 5. So instead of the 6, now I have a 4 by 5 and a 4 by 1. Do y'all know what 5 times 4 is? What's 5 times 4?
20.
Okay, great. Write that in the middle of that rectangle. It's 4 times 1.
4.
Okay, good. Excellent. Now, what do I need to find the total area of that rectangle?
Adam?
Yeah, exactly, right? Adam. So I can do 20 plus 4 equals what?
24.
24. What is 6 times 4?
24.
Oh, beautiful. You see how that works? Isn't that neat? How about 6 times 3? What I want you to do, instead of the graph on the graph paper, go ahead and still draw a rectangle if you would like. And then what would we label that rectangle? What are the dimensions?
3 times 6.
You got it. We're going to put a 3 by 6. All right, I want to think of 6 as a 5 and a 1 because why? Why would I do that again?
5 plus 1 equals 6.
Yes, and because do I already know 5s and 1s? Right. I already know my 5s and 1s. So if I'm having trouble, I go to what I do know. So that's not a 6, that's a 1. And that's a 5 and a 1, right? 15 plus 3 equals 18. 18. Nice. Good. Now, I want to encourage you guys to try to do the addition in your head as much as possible because we are working on mental math strategies, okay? So at some point, you want to do this all in your head, so you do want to make sure that you're doing the addition part in your head as much as you do the multiplication part in your head. So for some of the 6s that you get stuck on, you could pull out this strategy and use this strategy, right? For some of the ones you're feeling fine on, you don't have to use the strategy, right? It's your choice. If you already know it, then just answer it, right? If you don't know it, then now you have a strategy you could use to find the answer.